What if the chaos in your life could be tamed with just 12 simple rules? Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life. An Antidote to Chaos is more than a self-help book. It's a roadmap to living a purposeful and resilient life. Blending psychology, mythology, philosophy, and real-life anecdotes, Peterson tackles some of the biggest questions. How can you find meaning in suffering? Why does telling the truth matter so much? And how do small, everyday actions shape your destiny? Packed with profound insights and practical wisdom, this book is a powerful guide for anyone seeking balance in a world full of uncertainty. Whether it's learning to stand tall, set boundaries, or embrace life's hardships, Peterson's advice hits hard and stays with you. If you're ready to transform your mindset, build stronger relationships, and discover what truly matters, 12 Rules for Life is a must-read. Are you ready to start? Rule number 1. Stand up straight with your shoulders back in the natural world. There exists an undeniable hierarchy that governs social behavior and survival, vividly illustrated by the life of lobsters. These creatures, though seemingly simple, offer profound insights into how dominance and submission play out across species, including humans. Lobsters engage in territorial battles to establish their position in the social order. When two lobsters confront each other, they size up their opponent, assessing their strength and chances of victory. If they decide to engage, the fight is fierce but decisive. The outcome determines a winner, who climbs higher in the hierarchy, and a loser, who retreats, often adopting a more submissive stance for future interactions. This process isn't just about dominance for its own sake. It directly affects the lobster's neurology and biology. Winning a fight increases the serotonin levels in the victorious lobster, making it more confident and likely to succeed in future confrontations. Conversely, the defeated lobster experiences a drop in serotonin, becoming more timid and less likely to assert itself. This biological feedback loop influences their future behavior and reinforces their place in the social structure. In humans, while the context may be vastly different, the principles of dominance hierarchies remain. Confidence, or lack thereof, plays a pivotal role in determining one's place in social and professional settings. Body language, for instance, serves as a silent yet powerful indicator of one's position within a hierarchy. Slouched shoulders, downcast eyes, and a hunched posture signal submission and uncertainty. In contrast, standing tall with your shoulders back and your head held high exudes confidence, signaling to others, and yourself, that you are capable and ready to take on challenges. The physiological effects of posture mirror those seen in lobsters. A confident stance can influence the brain's chemistry, reducing stress and increasing feelings of self-assurance. It creates a positive feedback loop where confident behavior leads to positive outcomes, which in turn reinforces the initial confidence. On the other hand, a timid posture can perpetuate feelings of inadequacy and defeat, creating a downward spiral. This concept extends beyond physical posture to encompass how one approaches life's challenges. Taking responsibility for your actions and decisions, no matter how difficult, is akin to standing up straight. It demonstrates to yourself and others that you are willing to confront adversity rather than shy away from it. This mindset not only affects personal development, but also influences how others perceive and interact with you. People are naturally drawn to those who project confidence and self-assurance, creating opportunities for collaboration, trust, and mutual respect. The idea of standing tall also carries a warning. Avoid the trap of victimhood. It is easy to blame external circumstances or other people for life's difficulties, but this mindset only reinforces a sense of helplessness. Taking responsibility, even in situations where control seems limited, allows for growth and improvement. It transforms challenges into opportunities to learn and adapt, fostering resilience. In any social setting, hierarchies are inevitable, whether in the workplace, among friends, or within families. While they can seem rigid or unfair, understanding their dynamics allows for better navigation and even opportunities to improve one's position. Confidence, self-respect, and the willingness to take responsibility can shift the balance, helping individuals rise within their respective hierarchies. This is not about dominating others, but about recognizing your own worth and potential, asserting it appropriately, and contributing meaningfully to the world around you. Life struggles are inevitable, but how one carries themselves through those struggles makes all the difference. Standing up straight, literally and metaphorically, is an act of defiance against chaos and a declaration of readiness to face the challenges ahead. It is a fundamental step toward taking control of your life, improving your circumstances, and finding a sense of order in an often chaotic world. It begins with a simple but powerful gesture, standing up straight with your shoulders back. Rule number 2. Treat yourself like someone you are responsible for helping. Treating yourself like someone you are responsible for helping begins with recognizing a peculiar contradiction in human behavior. People often take better care of others than they do themselves. For example, if someone they care about is sick, they will dutifully ensure that prescriptions are filled, dosages are followed, and appointments are made on time. Yet, when it comes to their own health or well-being, they may neglect to follow the same discipline and care. This disparity arises from a failure to value oneself and a lack of acknowledgement of one's own worthiness to receive help and care. It is necessary to understand that life is a gift, accompanied by profound responsibility. If someone entrusted you with the care of another being, you would feel obligated to nurture and protect them, ensuring they grow and thrive. However, most people fail to see themselves as deserving of that same attention and effort. This neglect can manifest in self-destructive behaviors, poor health choices, and a general disregard for personal well-being. The first step is acknowledging that you are not your own possession to be abused or discarded. You have a role to play in the world, and to fulfill that role effectively, you must take care of yourself as if you were caring for someone else who relies on you. This responsibility includes your physical health, mental state, and overall development. By doing so, you not only benefit yourself, but also those around you, as you are better equipped to contribute positively to their lives. To treat yourself properly, it's essential to ask what is truly in your best interest. This requires an honest assessment of your needs and a commitment to fulfilling them. It means recognizing that indulgence and overindulgence are not the same as care. Eating junk food, avoiding exercise, or engaging in habits that provide short-term pleasure but long-term harm is not genuine self-care. True care involves making choices that may require effort, discipline, and sacrifice in the moment, but yield greater well-being over time. There's also the need to recognize that your potential for growth is tied to your willingness to care for yourself properly. Humans are not static beings. They are constantly changing, learning, and evolving. To nurture this growth, you must create an environment conducive to development, much like tending a garden. This involves providing yourself with the right tools, resources, and habits to flourish. It also means weeding out behaviors or influences that stunt progress. Part of this process involves confronting the internal critic that often sabotages self-care efforts. Many people struggle with feelings of guilt, inadequacy, or unworthiness, which can lead them to neglect their needs. Overcoming this self-sabotage requires a shift in perspective. Instead of seeing yourself through the lens of your flaws and failures, view yourself as someone deserving of compassion and encouragement. Speak to yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer a close friend in need. Another critical aspect of treating yourself as someone you are responsible for helping is setting boundaries. Just as you would protect a loved one from harm, you must shield yourself from toxic influences, harmful relationships, and negative environments. This might involve difficult decisions, such as cutting ties with those who drain your energy or limiting activities that do not align with your goals and values. By doing so, you create space for positive influences and constructive pursuits. Understanding what is beneficial for you also requires knowledge and self-awareness. This includes learning about your physical health, emotional triggers, and intellectual interests. It means being curious about what nourishes your body, sharpens your mind, and brings you fulfillment. With this knowledge, you can make informed choices that enhance your quality of life. A critical element of self-care is the discipline to follow through on what you know is best for you, even when it is challenging. This involves developing routines, habits, and systems that make it easier to stick to your goals. For instance, setting a regular sleep schedule, preparing healthy meals in advance, or scheduling time for exercise are practical ways to prioritize your well-being. These habits not only improve your immediate quality of life, but also build resilience and self-efficacy over time. Accountability is another key factor in this approach. Just as you would hold yourself accountable for someone else's care, you must take responsibility for your actions and their consequences. This means owning up to mistakes, learning from them, and making adjustments to avoid repeating them. It also involves setting realistic goals and tracking your progress, celebrating your successes, and identifying areas for improvement. Caring for yourself also requires acknowledging the balance between helping yourself and serving others. While self-care is vital, it should not lead to selfishness or disregard for the needs of those around you. Instead, by taking care of yourself, you build the capacity to help others more effectively. A well-cared-for individual is more present, energetic, and capable of making a positive impact. Moreover, treating yourself with care does not mean avoiding discomfort or challenges. Growth often requires stepping outside your comfort zone and confronting difficulties head-on. By facing challenges with courage and determination, you strengthen your character and expand your abilities. This process is not always easy, but it is essential for reaching your full potential. In the pursuit of caring for yourself, it is also crucial to cultivate a sense of gratitude and appreciation for life. Recognizing the privileges and opportunities you have been given can inspire a deeper commitment to making the most of them. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have, fostering a more positive and proactive mindset. Finally, the idea of treating yourself as someone you are responsible for helping emphasizes the importance of being proactive rather than reactive. Instead of waiting for problems to arise, take the initiative to prevent them by maintaining a strong foundation of health, knowledge, and emotional well-being. This approach not only minimizes potential challenges, but also empowers you to handle them more effectively when they do occur. In this approach, the focus remains on responsibility, discipline, and care. By recognizing your worth, addressing your needs, and committing to your well-being, you lay the groundwork for a life that is not only healthier and happier, but also more meaningful and fulfilling. This process is not about perfection, but about progress, about striving to become the best version of yourself so that you can fulfill your potential and contribute positively to the world. Rule number 3. Make friends with people who want the best for you. Friendship is a powerful force, but not all friendships are created equal. The idea of surrounding oneself with people who genuinely want the best for you is more than just a moral suggestion. It's a practical strategy for living a better life. Relationships deeply influence who you are and who you become, making it critical to choose companions wisely. Imagine two kinds of friends. One who genuinely celebrates your successes and pushes you toward greater achievements, and another who diminishes your victories or drags you into destructive habits. The first friend wants what's truly best for you, encouraging you to grow, improve, and face life's challenges head-on. The second friend, though they may seem fun or familiar, holds you back by fostering complacency or unhealthy behaviors. Surrounding yourself with the wrong people can subtly yet powerfully shape your life in negative ways, while associating with the right people can propel you toward a brighter future. The essence of this teaching lies in understanding that some people cling to negativity or stagnation. They may be stuck in cycles of bad decisions, self-pity, or victimhood. These individuals often don't want to see others succeed because it reminds them of their own shortcomings or failures. By aligning with such people, you risk being pulled into their orbit of despair, where growth and progress become nearly impossible. It's tempting to believe that you can uplift or save these individuals, but more often than not, their gravitational pull will drag you down instead. On the other hand, those who truly care about you will never begrudge your accomplishments or progress. They won't undermine your dreams or talk you out of pursuing something meaningful. Instead, they'll celebrate your wins and provide support when you falter. These people aren't afraid to challenge you either. If you're veering off course, they'll call you out, not to shame you, but to help you stay on the right path. Their actions and intentions stem from a place of genuine care and a desire to see you flourish. The concept extends beyond the obvious markers of success or failure. True friends also respect your boundaries and values. They won't pressure you into situations that compromise your integrity or well-being. Instead, they'll help you reinforce your principles, encouraging you to stay true to who you are while pushing you to become the best version of yourself. One of the hardest lessons here is recognizing when to walk away from relationships that no longer serve your growth. This doesn't mean abandoning people in their time of need or acting out of selfishness. Instead, it's about understanding that some relationships can become toxic, even if they once seemed healthy. Staying in such relationships out of guilt or obligation can be more harmful than helpful, not only to you, but also to the other person. Sometimes, stepping back creates the space for both parties to grow independently. Choosing the right people to be around requires courage and discernment. It's not always easy to distance yourself from familiar but harmful influences, nor is it simple to seek out relationships that challenge and uplift you. However, the impact of this choice is profound. People who want the best for you inspire you to rise to your potential. They act as mirrors, reflecting your strengths and encouraging you to overcome your weaknesses. These relationships provide a solid foundation for navigating life's challenges and pursuing meaningful goals. Surrounding yourself with supportive individuals doesn't just benefit you. It also allows you to give back in meaningful ways. When you're in a healthy relationship, you're better equipped to offer genuine support, encouragement, and love to others. This creates a positive cycle where everyone involved benefits, growing together in a mutually uplifting environment. The lesson isn't about isolating yourself from those who struggle or cutting off every challenging relationship. It's about being mindful of the overall direction your relationships are taking you. Are your friends helping you climb higher, or are they pulling you down? Are they inspiring you to improve, or are they enabling destructive habits? Answering these questions honestly can help you build a life filled with meaning, growth, and fulfillment. Rule number 4. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today. In a world teeming with comparisons and relentless competition, one important lesson stands out. The only person you should measure yourself against is who you were yesterday. This idea becomes clear through the tale of a young man named Alex, who struggled with self-doubt and feelings of inadequacy in the fast-paced environment of social media and professional aspirations. Constantly bombarded by images of success, wealth, and happiness from his peers, Alex found himself ensnared in a web of envy and frustration. Each morning, as he scrolled through his phone, he couldn't shake the sense that he was falling short in every aspect of life. As he reflected on his achievements and progress, Alex often found himself fixating on the triumphs of others rather than acknowledging his own growth. His friends seemed to be landing impressive jobs, traveling the world, and living lives that felt entirely out of reach. In contrast, he was still figuring out his career path and feeling stuck in the monotony of everyday life. This relentless comparison led him into a downward spiral of discontent, where every accomplishment felt trivial compared to the achievements of others. One day, after yet another frustrating encounter with social media, Alex decided to take a different approach. He grabbed a journal and began writing down his thoughts, reflecting on where he had been and how far he had come. As he flipped through the pages of his life, he started to see patterns emerge. He had made significant strides in his education, developed new skills, and even volunteered at local charities. Yet he had overlooked these milestones in favor of someone else's highlight reel. Realizing this, Alex committed to shifting his perspective. Instead of focusing on external benchmarks, he began to measure himself against his past self. He set small, achievable goals that aligned with his values and passions. Whether it was improving his fitness, expanding his knowledge, or fostering meaningful relationships, he learned to celebrate the progress he made day by day. As the weeks passed, Alex found that this new mindset changed everything. He started to appreciate the simple victories: waking up early for a workout, finishing a book that had been sitting on his shelf for ages, or learning a new recipe. Each day became an opportunity for growth rather than a reminder of his shortcomings. He learned to look back at his past self and acknowledge the effort and determination he had invested in becoming a better version of himself. This newfound approach also had a profound impact on Alex's relationships. He began to communicate more openly with his friends, sharing his struggles and triumphs instead of masking them with envy. To his surprise, many of his peers felt similarly inadequate, caught in their own cycles of comparison. By fostering a supportive environment, they encouraged each other to share their journeys without the burden of competition. One particular evening, while having dinner with friends, the conversation shifted towards personal growth. Alex, emboldened by his transformation, shared his experience of comparing himself to his former self instead of others. He emphasized the importance of acknowledging individual progress and not getting lost in the noise of external expectations. His friends were intrigued and began to share their own experiences, discussing how social media had influenced their perceptions of success. Inspired by this dialogue, Alex proposed a challenge to his friends. Each person would create a personal reflection journal, documenting their goals, achievements, and challenges. They would meet monthly to share their progress, fostering a supportive space where everyone could celebrate their journeys without fear of judgment or comparison. The group embraced this idea wholeheartedly, excited to embark on a new path of collective growth. Over time, this practice became a ritual that not only deepened their friendships, but also reinforced the idea that growth is a personal journey. Each meeting brought stories of perseverance, setbacks, and the joy of realizing that everyone was on their own timeline. They learned to appreciate the small victories that often went unnoticed, emphasizing the importance of self-reflection and self-acceptance. As Alex continued this journey, he became more adept at setting goals and pursuing them with intention. He realized that progress does not always manifest in grand gestures. Sometimes, it is the quiet commitment to self-improvement that holds the most value. This realization fueled his passion for new challenges. He decided to explore hobbies that had long piqued his interest but remained on the back burner. One day, he signed up for a pottery class, an art form he had always admired but never tried. As he shaped the clay, he discovered a therapeutic outlet for his creativity. The process of creating something from scratch, despite the inevitable failures and mishaps, reinforced his belief that growth comes from persistence and practice. Each time he returned to the studio, he saw tangible improvements, fueling his desire to explore further. The lessons he learned in the pottery class translated into other areas of his life. With a newfound sense of resilience, Alex embraced challenges with enthusiasm. He began to tackle projects at work with greater confidence, taking risks that he previously shied away from. When faced with setbacks, instead of wallowing in disappointment, he reframed them as opportunities for learning. He documented what went wrong and how he could adjust his approach next time, effectively turning failures into stepping stones toward success. His relationships also flourished as he continued to focus on self-improvement. The support system he and his friends had built allowed them to discuss their aspirations freely and encourage one another. They learned to give constructive feedback, recognizing that collaboration could yield better results than competition. Alex found joy in celebrating others' successes, viewing them as sources of inspiration rather than threats to his own ambitions. In one particularly memorable moment, during a gathering at a friend's house, they all shared their personal growth journals. As they read excerpts aloud, the room filled with laughter, empathy, and mutual respect. They witnessed the collective journey they had embarked on, realizing that growth takes time and effort. No two paths were alike, yet each story resonated with the same underlying truth. Personal progress is a continuous journey, and every step counts. As months turned into a year, Alex's transformation was undeniable. He had become more confident, more content, and more aware of his own potential. He no longer sought validation from others, but derived satisfaction from knowing he was actively working toward becoming the best version of himself. His interactions with the world felt richer, as he approached life with an attitude of curiosity and gratitude. Through this journey, Alex had uncovered an essential truth. The only person worth comparing yourself to is the person you were yesterday. It became clear that the road to fulfillment is paved with self-acceptance, resilience, and a commitment to personal growth. Each day presented a new opportunity to be better than before, and that was a powerful lesson he would carry with him for the rest of his life. In the end, Alex learned that life is not a race, but rather a personal odyssey, filled with unique experiences that shape who you are. Embracing this perspective allowed him to cultivate a deep sense of purpose and satisfaction, proving that true happiness lies not in comparison, but in the journey of self-discovery and continuous improvement. The world around him became a place of inspiration rather than competition, and he emerged with a renewed sense of agency over his own life. Each day was an invitation to grow, evolve, and honor the individual path he was carving out for himself, reminding him that the most meaningful comparison is with his past self, a journey marked by growth, reflection, and the relentless pursuit of becoming better. Rule number 5. Do not let your children do anything that makes you dislike them. In the quest to raise well-adjusted children, many parents encounter the inevitable struggle of balancing discipline and affection. It's a challenge that often leads to frustration and confusion. The fundamental lesson here is to instill a sense of order and respect in children from a young age, while also fostering a loving environment where they can thrive. It is essential to set boundaries and clearly communicate expectations, as this is critical for helping children understand the consequences of their actions. Picture a young child who throws a tantrum in a public space, demanding a toy that their parent refuses to buy. Instead of calmly addressing the behavior, the parent might succumb to the child's demands, fearing the judgment of onlookers or wishing to avoid the hassle of a public scene. In doing so, they inadvertently teach the child that throwing a fit is an effective way to get what they want. Over time, this lesson can lead to a host of issues: entitlement, lack of respect for authority, and an inability to cope with disappointment. Instead of caving to such behaviors, it is crucial to establish boundaries that children must respect. When a child misbehaves, it's important for parents to recognize that allowing such behavior can lead to the development of traits that will make them difficult to like as they grow older. By maintaining a firm stance against unacceptable actions, parents teach children that their behavior has consequences. This requires consistency. If a child is disciplined for inappropriate actions one day but indulged the next, it creates confusion and reinforces negative behavior. Discipline should not be viewed as an act of punishment, but rather as a necessary component of growth. It's about guiding children toward understanding the difference between right and wrong. A child who learns that they must behave appropriately to gain approval and love will develop a sense of responsibility and respect for others. This process may involve setting clear rules and following through with consequences when those rules are broken. To illustrate the importance of teaching respect, consider a scenario in which a child refuses to share toys with a sibling. Instead of ignoring the situation or passively hoping it will resolve itself, it is imperative for the parent to intervene. By explaining the importance of sharing and modeling the desired behavior, the parent reinforces positive social interactions. This not only helps the child develop empathy, but also strengthens family bonds and sets the stage for future relationships. Moreover, it is important for parents to acknowledge their own feelings and to understand that it's natural to feel frustration or disappointment when a child behaves poorly. Recognizing these emotions can empower parents to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. By taking the time to address their feelings, parents can approach their child with greater patience and clarity, ultimately fostering a more constructive environment for both themselves and their children. As children grow, they will inevitably test boundaries. It's a natural part of development, and how parents respond can significantly influence the child's understanding of acceptable behavior. For instance, when a teenager engages in risky behavior, such as staying out late without informing their parents, it can be tempting for parents to react with anger or frustration. Instead, it's more effective to have open conversations about the potential consequences of such actions. By maintaining a dialogue and emphasizing mutual respect, parents can guide their children toward making better choices. The lessons learned during childhood are foundational, shaping an individual's behavior into adulthood. When children are taught that their actions can lead to disapproval or affection, they begin to internalize the importance of being likable. This understanding fosters healthy relationships, as children learn to value the opinions and feelings of others. They begin to appreciate that behaving in ways that earn respect and affection is essential for creating meaningful connections. Establishing a nurturing yet structured environment allows children to flourish. They need to know that they are loved, but also that there are expectations they must meet. This balance can be achieved by providing praise when they behave well and addressing negative behaviors constructively. Parents should celebrate achievements and positive actions, while also being willing to confront undesirable behaviors head-on. Ultimately, the objective is to prepare children to enter the world as responsible, kind, and respectful individuals. Rule number 6. Set your house in perfect order before you criticize the world. Setting your house in perfect order before criticizing the world is a powerful concept that resonates deeply in personal development. This idea emphasizes the importance of self-reflection and taking responsibility for your life. It begins with the understanding that in times of chaos and confusion, it is easy to point fingers at the external world and blame circumstances or other people for our problems. However, true change begins from within. A vivid example illustrates this lesson through the metaphor of a man who is dissatisfied with the state of the world around him. He often finds himself in a state of frustration, constantly criticizing political systems, societal norms, and the behavior of others. He believes that if only the world were different, his life would be better. Yet amidst all this criticism, he neglects the most important aspect of his life: his own personal environment. His home is cluttered, his relationships are strained, and his mental state is far from organized. One day, after yet another frustrating encounter with a friend who expresses similar grievances about the world, he is struck by a sudden realization. He spends time contemplating his circumstances and reflects on the disarray in his own life. In that moment, he acknowledges that he has failed to address the small, manageable aspects of his own existence while focusing his energy on the external chaos that he cannot control. This epiphany leads him to decide to make a change, starting with his immediate surroundings. Determined to bring order to his life, he begins by decluttering his home. He takes a day to sort through his belongings, deciding what to keep and what to discard. Each item prompts memories and thoughts, forcing him to confront the emotional weight he carries. He meticulously organizes his space, putting everything in its rightful place. This process is both cathartic and enlightening, as he begins to understand how much his physical environment affects his mental state. As he creates order in his home, he feels a sense of accomplishment and clarity begin to emerge. As he continues this journey of self-improvement, he realizes that the chaos in his surroundings is a reflection of the chaos in his mind. With each item he discards, he feels a weight lifted from his shoulders. He creates a serene and peaceful environment that fosters productivity and positive thinking. No longer overwhelmed by his clutter, he finds himself more focused and able to engage in meaningful work. His home transforms into a sanctuary where he can think clearly and recharge. This newfound clarity leads him to examine other areas of his life that require attention. He begins to address his health, recognizing that neglecting his physical well-being contributes to his overall dissatisfaction. He establishes a routine that includes regular exercise and healthy eating habits. As he invests in his physical health, he notices improvements in his mood and energy levels. This further reinforces the idea that small changes can lead to significant transformations. In addition to enhancing his physical health, he also turns his attention to his relationships. He reaches out to friends and family members, apologizing for past grievances and making an effort to reconnect. He realizes that many of his friendships had deteriorated due to his own negativity and lack of engagement. By taking responsibility for his actions and making amends, he begins to rebuild these connections. The more effort he puts into nurturing his relationships, the more support and love he receives in return. The change in his personal life begins to ripple outward. As he becomes more organized and engaged, he finds himself less inclined to criticize the world. Instead of focusing on the negative aspects of society, he becomes more proactive. He starts volunteering in his community, seeking out opportunities to make a positive impact. He participates in local initiatives aimed at improving the environment and supporting those in need. This shift in focus from criticism to action becomes a cornerstone of his new philosophy. Through this journey, he learns that it is far too easy to criticize the world while ignoring one's own shortcomings. By setting his house in order, he realizes he has the power to create change, not just within himself, but also in his community. He understands that before attempting to solve the world's problems, one must first address their own. This realization brings about a profound sense of empowerment, as he becomes a catalyst for change in both his life and the lives of those around him. As time passes, he reflects on how much he has grown since committing to this journey. The world around him has not changed dramatically. Political issues, social injustices, and personal challenges still exist. However, his perspective has shifted entirely. He no longer feels the need to lash out at the world. Instead, he feels a sense of responsibility to contribute positively. He finds that by focusing on what he can control, his actions, thoughts, and environment, he cultivates a sense of purpose and fulfillment that was previously lacking. Ultimately, the lesson is clear. Before seeking to criticize the broader world, one must first take a hard look at their own life. By embracing responsibility for oneself and actively working to create order and meaning, individuals can cultivate a life that is not only more satisfying, but also more aligned with their values. In doing so, they become better equipped to engage with the world, inspire others, and contribute to the greater good. This transformation from chaos to order serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of personal responsibility. It is a journey that requires humility, effort, and dedication, but the rewards are profound. By setting one's house in perfect order, individuals not only enrich their own lives, but also empower themselves to influence the world positively. Rule number 7. Pursue what is meaningful, not what is expedient. In a world filled with distractions and fleeting pleasures, the pursuit of meaning stands as a guiding light, urging individuals to seek fulfillment beyond immediate gratification. The journey toward a meaningful life often begins with an understanding of sacrifice and responsibility. Life, with all its challenges and struggles, offers opportunities to confront hardships, enabling personal growth and the cultivation of resilience. The notion of pursuing what is meaningful rather than what is expedient can be illustrated through the story of a young man named Alex. After graduating from college, Alex found himself overwhelmed by the pressures of adulthood. Faced with mounting student loans and expectations from family and friends, he quickly fell into a cycle of seeking instant gratification. Instead of taking the time to find a career that aligned with his passions, he accepted the first job he was offered, a high-paying position at a corporate firm. Although the salary provided immediate financial relief, the work felt hollow, and Alex soon realized he was merely going through the motions. As time passed, he felt increasingly disconnected from his true self, engaging in work that left him unfulfilled. His weekends were spent numbing himself with mindless entertainment and social media, attempting to escape the monotony of his daily routine. It was during one particularly aimless weekend that Alex stumbled upon an old book about philosophy and the concept of meaning. Intrigued, he began to reflect on his life choices and the paths he had taken. This moment sparked a desire to search for deeper significance beyond his daily grind. Motivated by a newfound sense of purpose, Alex embarked on a journey of self-discovery. He recognized that meaningful pursuits often require effort and dedication. Instead of retreating to his comfortable routine, he sought challenges that pushed him out of his comfort zone. He started volunteering at a local shelter, where he connected with individuals from different walks of life. Engaging with the community offered him a glimpse into the struggles others faced, igniting a sense of empathy and responsibility within him. In helping those in need, he discovered a fulfillment that transcended his previous shallow pursuits. As Alex delved deeper into this journey, he began to explore his own passions and interests. He remembered his love for writing, which had taken a back seat during his corporate career. With every story he penned, he felt a sense of liberation and joy. Writing became his sanctuary, a means to express himself authentically. However, he also understood that the path to becoming a successful writer wouldn't be easy. It required sacrifice, patience, and perseverance. Driven by this realization, he made a conscious choice to pursue writing seriously. He began to allocate time each day to develop his craft, setting goals for himself, and holding himself accountable. He faced numerous rejections and obstacles, but with every setback, he learned valuable lessons about resilience. The road was not linear. It was filled with moments of doubt and uncertainty. Yet he remained committed to his quest for meaning. In addition to writing, Alex sought to deepen his understanding of the world around him. He took courses in philosophy, psychology, and art, embracing a broad spectrum of knowledge. Engaging with diverse perspectives enriched his worldview, allowing him to connect the dots between different disciplines. This intellectual curiosity fueled his creativity and inspired his writing. He began to weave the insights he gained into his stories, creating characters who grappled with profound questions about existence, morality, and purpose. As he continued to pursue what was meaningful, he also recognized the importance of relationships in his life. He began to nurture connections with friends and family, engaging in meaningful conversations that fostered genuine bonds. He distanced himself from toxic relationships that drained his energy and made space for those who encouraged his growth. This shift transformed his social life. He found himself surrounded by individuals who shared similar values and aspirations, creating a supportive community that propelled him forward. Throughout this journey, Alex came to understand that pursuing what is meaningful often requires a willingness to confront suffering. He realized that life inevitably brings pain and hardship, and instead of avoiding it, he learned to embrace challenges as opportunities for growth. When faced with adversity, he adopted a mindset of curiosity, asking himself what he could learn from each experience. This shift in perspective empowered him to navigate difficult situations with grace and resilience. With time, Alex began to see the fruits of his labor. He published his first collection of short stories, which garnered positive feedback from readers. The process of creating something meaningful from his experiences felt deeply fulfilling. He also found himself drawn to mentorship, helping aspiring writers who struggled with their own journeys. Sharing his insights and encouraging others became an integral part of his life, adding yet another layer of meaning to his existence. As he continued to pursue his passions, Alex recognized that the pursuit of meaning is not a destination, but an ongoing journey. He learned to appreciate the small victories and the moments of connection that enriched his life. Each day became an opportunity to align his actions with his values, seeking purpose in the choices he made. He embraced the complexities of life, understanding that the path to fulfillment is often paved with uncertainty and sacrifice. Through Alex's journey, it becomes evident that the quest for meaning is a deeply personal endeavor. It requires introspection, commitment, and the courage to confront both internal and external challenges. By choosing to pursue what is meaningful, individuals can cultivate resilience, create authentic connections, and ultimately lead lives filled with purpose. The journey may be arduous, but the rewards, self-discovery, fulfillment, and a sense of belonging make every step worthwhile. Rule number 8. Tell the truth, or at least don't lie. In the journey of life, the principle of honesty emerges as a crucial foundation for personal integrity and societal trust. The exploration of truth begins with a clear recognition of its paramount importance. It is not merely an ideal to aspire to, but a fundamental necessity for maintaining relationships and fostering a stable, functional society. Living in truth offers clarity and direction, while lies create a landscape of chaos and confusion. An early illustration of this principle involves the concept of speaking truthfully, not just to others but also to oneself. A common scenario arises when individuals confront their fears or shortcomings. Instead of acknowledging their reality, many people choose to deceive themselves. This self-deception can manifest in various ways, such as rationalizing poor behavior or dismissing personal failures. The truth is often uncomfortable, and the instinct to avoid it can lead individuals down a path of ignorance and dissatisfaction. The lesson here emphasizes the necessity of recognizing one's own flaws and limitations openly. Acknowledging these truths can be the first step toward meaningful change and growth. As the exploration of truth continues, an example surfaces involving the intricate nature of interpersonal relationships. Imagine a situation where one person in a relationship withholds information or shares half-truths. Initially, this may seem harmless, but the ramifications of such dishonesty can lead to distrust, resentment, and emotional distance. Over time, these small lies accumulate, creating a chasm between the individuals involved. The lesson emphasizes the importance of open communication and the necessity of speaking honestly, even when the truth is difficult or uncomfortable. Healthy relationships thrive on trust, and that trust is built upon a foundation of truthfulness. The concept of honesty also extends to the professional realm. In a workplace setting, integrity plays a vital role in fostering a positive environment. When individuals choose to communicate transparently, it cultivates a culture of accountability and collaboration. Conversely, deceit and dishonesty can lead to toxic dynamics, where employees feel undermined or suspicious of one another. A story emerges of a workplace scenario where a team member manipulates information to gain an advantage over others. While this tactic may yield short-term benefits, it ultimately jeopardizes team cohesion and erodes the collective spirit. The lesson here underscores the significance of honesty in professional interactions, as it not only enhances individual credibility but also strengthens the overall fabric of the organization. Transitioning to the broader societal implications of truth, one encounters the idea of the power of truth in shaping public discourse. Societies thrive when individuals engage in open and honest dialogue, allowing for the exchange of ideas and perspectives. However, when misinformation proliferates, it breeds division and conflict. A compelling example arises in the context of political discourse. In a climate where leaders may resort to manipulation and deceit to achieve their objectives, the fabric of society becomes frayed. The lesson here illustrates the importance of holding leaders accountable for their words and actions. Citizens have a responsibility to demand truthfulness from those in positions of power, recognizing that transparency is essential for a functioning democracy. The exploration of truth further delves into the concept of personal accountability. Each individual carries the weight of their own decisions and actions. When faced with the consequences of their choices, the instinct may be to deflect blame or create justifications. However, true personal growth emerges when one confronts the reality of their decisions, taking responsibility for the outcomes. A vivid example highlights a scenario where an individual fails to achieve a goal due to procrastination. Instead of attributing this failure to external circumstances, embracing honesty involves reflecting on one's own habits and behaviors. The lesson here emphasizes that accountability is not a burden, but a liberating force, enabling individuals to learn from their experiences and make more informed choices in the future. As the discussion of truth progresses, the intricacies of societal norms come into play. The concept of political correctness often arises in discussions about truth. While the intention behind politically correct language is to promote sensitivity and inclusivity, it can sometimes lead to a suppression of genuine discourse. A poignant example illustrates a scenario where individuals refrain from expressing their opinions out of fear of backlash or social ostracism. This phenomenon stifles open dialogue and inhibits the exchange of ideas necessary for a healthy society. The lesson here highlights the importance of balancing sensitivity with honesty, recognizing that authentic conversations are essential for growth and understanding. Throughout the exploration of truth, the significance of storytelling emerges as a powerful tool for communication. Narratives have the ability to convey complex truths in a relatable manner. A story unfolds of a community facing a significant challenge, such as a natural disaster or economic hardship. The resilience of the community shines through as individuals come together to share their experiences and support one another. By sharing their truths, they create a collective narrative that fosters connection and healing. The lesson emphasizes the role of storytelling as a means of bridging gaps and fostering empathy among individuals. In a reflective moment, the idea of personal integrity crystallizes. Each individual possesses an inner compass that guides their decisions and actions. When one aligns their life with truth, they cultivate a sense of authenticity that resonates with others. Conversely, dishonesty creates a dissonance that can lead to inner turmoil. The journey toward personal integrity involves consistent efforts to uphold honesty, even in the face of challenges. An illustrative example arises of someone facing a moral dilemma in a professional setting. Instead of compromising their values for personal gain, they choose to act with integrity, reinforcing their self-respect and earning the trust of their peers. The lesson here reinforces the idea that living truthfully is a path toward inner peace and fulfillment. As the exploration of truth culminates, the overarching message becomes clear. Honesty is not merely a personal virtue, but a societal necessity. The ripple effects of truthful living extend far beyond the individual, influencing relationships, workplaces, and communities. Embracing truth requires courage and resilience, as it often involves confronting uncomfortable realities. However, the rewards of living authentically are profound. Individuals can forge deeper connections, navigate challenges with clarity, and contribute to a society grounded in trust and mutual respect. In conclusion, the commitment to truth is a lifelong journey that necessitates ongoing self-reflection and accountability. By choosing to tell the truth, individuals can illuminate their paths, build stronger relationships, and foster a more harmonious society. The lessons learned from this exploration serve as a guiding light for those seeking to navigate the complexities of life with integrity and purpose. As individuals embrace the power of truth, they embark on a transformative journey that enriches their lives and the lives of those around them, paving the way for a brighter future grounded in honesty and authenticity. Point 8. Tell the truth, or at least don't lie. Rule number 9. Assume that the person you are listening to might know something you don't. In an era dominated by noise and distractions, the importance of listening and engaging in meaningful conversations cannot be overstated. The journey begins with the realization that everyone we encounter holds a unique perspective shaped by their experiences, knowledge, and insights. Embracing this concept requires humility and a willingness to step outside one's own worldview. When approaching discussions, it is vital to recognize that the person speaking may have valuable insights that can enrich understanding, challenge preconceived notions, and illuminate previously unconsidered paths. The story unfolds in a bustling cafe where two individuals, seated at adjacent tables, engage in a conversation that reflects a common social dynamic. One of them, an experienced entrepreneur, is deeply entrenched in his thoughts, convinced he has all the answers to the challenges he faces in his business. The other, a young college student, is a recent graduate with fresh ideas and a unique perspective on the world. As their conversations intertwine, the entrepreneur initially dismisses the student's ideas as naive and impractical, believing that his years of experience grant him a superior understanding of the complexities of business. However, the conversation takes an unexpected turn. The student, undeterred by the entrepreneur's dismissive attitude, shares an innovative approach to marketing that he learned during an internship. He emphasizes the importance of authenticity and connection in engaging with consumers, contrasting it with the traditional methods the entrepreneur has relied on. As the student speaks, the entrepreneur begins to feel a shift within himself, a flicker of curiosity that compels him to listen more intently. In this moment, the essence of truly listening becomes evident. The entrepreneur realizes that the student's perspective, while perhaps less seasoned, is rooted in a deep understanding of modern consumer behavior. Instead of clinging to his own beliefs, he embraces the opportunity to learn from someone with a different vantage point. By putting aside his assumptions and engaging with an open mind, the entrepreneur uncovers insights that can revitalize his approach to business. The conversation continues, weaving through various topics, from technology to social media dynamics. The student articulates how younger generations prioritize brands that demonstrate social responsibility and genuine engagement. The entrepreneur, who had previously resisted change, begins to appreciate the value of adapting to new trends. He recognizes that the student's observations resonate with the evolving landscape of the business world, prompting him to reassess his strategies. As they converse, the student also learns from the entrepreneur's wealth of experience. He hears stories about the challenges of building a business from the ground up, the lessons learned from failures, and the resilience required to thrive in a competitive environment. This exchange becomes a powerful illustration of the importance of reciprocal learning. The student realizes that even those with significant experience can benefit from fresh perspectives, while the entrepreneur understands that wisdom is not solely determined by age or experience. The lesson here is that every conversation is an opportunity for growth. Instead of viewing discussions as platforms for asserting one's opinions, individuals should approach them with a genuine curiosity to learn from others. By doing so, they cultivate an environment where ideas can flourish and mutual understanding can develop. This realization extends beyond individual interactions. In workplaces, for instance, a culture of listening can lead to enhanced collaboration and innovation. When team members feel heard and valued, they are more likely to contribute their unique insights and ideas, fostering a sense of belonging. Leaders who actively seek input from their teams create an atmosphere of trust where everyone feels empowered to share their perspectives. This, in turn, leads to better decision-making and a more resilient organization. In personal relationships, the act of listening becomes equally transformative. Whether in friendships, family dynamics, or romantic partnerships, engaging deeply with others fosters connection and intimacy. Listening with the intent to understand allows individuals to navigate conflicts more effectively, as they are better equipped to empathize with one another's feelings and perspectives. Throughout life, there will always be individuals who challenge our beliefs and encourage us to expand our horizons. By adopting a mindset that assumes others may possess knowledge we do not, we open ourselves up to the richness of diverse experiences. This openness not only enhances our understanding of the world, but also fosters meaningful relationships that can withstand the tests of time. Consider the story of a seasoned teacher who enters a new classroom filled with students from diverse backgrounds. Instead of adhering strictly to her established teaching methods, she approaches each student with a willingness to learn about their unique perspectives. By inviting them to share their thoughts and ideas, she creates a collaborative learning environment where students feel valued and empowered. The classroom transforms into a space where knowledge is co-created, allowing for deeper engagement and understanding among peers. The message is clear. Listening is a skill that requires practice and intentionality. In an age where distractions abound and conversations often devolve into arguments, the ability to truly listen and engage can set individuals apart. By practicing active listening, one cultivates a sense of empathy and understanding, paving the way for constructive dialogue and collaboration. Furthermore, the act of listening is a powerful tool for personal growth. When individuals engage with others who challenge their beliefs, they confront their own biases and assumptions. This process can be uncomfortable, but it is essential for developing a more nuanced understanding of complex issues. Embracing discomfort allows for growth and transformation, leading to a more informed and empathetic perspective. In the broader context of society, the lessons learned through listening can contribute to a culture of understanding and respect. As individuals embrace the idea that everyone has something valuable to offer, society can move towards greater unity. Engaging in conversations with an open mind fosters a sense of community, where diverse perspectives are not only acknowledged but celebrated. Rule number 10. Be precise in your speech. In a world filled with noise, misunderstandings, and chaos, the clarity of communication emerges as a fundamental necessity for fostering genuine relationships and ensuring personal integrity. The importance of being precise in speech cannot be overstated. Words have the power to create, but they also have the power to destroy. Miscommunication can lead to resentment, conflict, and confusion, which can spiral into greater issues. Therefore, mastering the art of communication and ensuring that one's words accurately reflect one's thoughts and intentions is essential for establishing trust and understanding. Consider the story of a man who found himself in a personal crisis due to a lack of precision in his communication. This man had always prided himself on being honest, but he often spoke in vague terms. He believed that his intentions were clear, and he thought that the people around him could read between the lines. However, this was not the case. Friends and family began to feel alienated, unsure of what he truly meant or wanted. The ambiguity in his communication caused friction in his relationships, leading to misunderstandings that festered over time. One day, he was invited to a gathering with friends, a casual affair meant to strengthen their bonds. Yet, during the event, he was frustrated by how his friends seemed distant and uninterested. He was convinced they were unhappy or bored, but instead of expressing his concerns directly, he mumbled vague complaints about the atmosphere. His friends, not knowing what he meant or how to respond, continued to withdraw. This miscommunication created an uncomfortable situation that could have easily been avoided had he simply articulated his feelings with precision. Realizing that something needed to change, he began to reflect on his approach to communication. He recalled a time when he had been in a similar situation, only it had turned out differently. During a previous gathering, he had spoken openly about his feelings and concerns regarding a friend's struggles. By being specific about what he observed and how it affected him, he had fostered an atmosphere of openness and support. This experience revealed to him the power of precise speech. It had not only strengthened his friendship, but it also opened doors for others to share their vulnerabilities. Determined to improve, he started practicing clarity in his conversations. The next time he met with friends, he decided to address the tension directly. Instead of making vague comments about the mood, he openly expressed that he felt a disconnect and wanted to understand how everyone was feeling. To his surprise, his honesty created an opportunity for everyone to share their thoughts. They discussed their individual stresses and worries, and by doing so, they found common ground. His willingness to be precise in his speech allowed his friends to feel safe in expressing their own emotions, leading to deeper connections and a more supportive atmosphere. As time passed, he continued to cultivate this skill. He recognized that being precise in speech was not just about expressing his own feelings, but also about listening to others. He learned to ask clarifying questions when conversations became murky. This practice allowed him to grasp the nuances of others' perspectives, fostering a richer dialogue. By actively engaging with others and ensuring that he understood their viewpoints, he began to create an environment where everyone felt heard and respected. There was a significant moment during a work meeting where his newfound communication skills were put to the test. The team was discussing a critical project that had encountered several issues. In previous meetings, the conversations had devolved into vague complaints and finger-pointing. This time, however, he approached the discussion differently. He articulated specific problems he had observed, supported by data, and invited others to share their observations. He made it clear that the goal was not to assign blame, but to collaboratively find solutions. This precise approach transformed the meeting. Colleagues who had been hesitant to speak up felt encouraged to share their insights. The atmosphere shifted from one of defensiveness to collaboration, resulting in actionable strategies to overcome the challenges they faced. The team left the meeting energized, united by a shared purpose and a clearer understanding of their individual roles in achieving it. With every interaction, the man became more aware of how precision in speech could reshape dynamics in both personal and professional settings. His relationships flourished as he continued to prioritize clarity. People began to express gratitude for his straightforwardness, noting how refreshing it was to engage in honest conversations. He realized that this shift did not just benefit him, it positively impacted those around him. The more precise he became, the more comfortable others felt to reciprocate, resulting in a network of communication based on mutual understanding. However, the journey was not without its challenges. There were moments when he faltered, reverting to old habits of vagueness and ambiguity. In one instance, during a heated discussion with a family member, he found himself resorting to generalizations instead of addressing specific issues. The conversation quickly spiraled into a conflict, highlighting the fragility of relationships when communication lacks clarity. Recognizing this misstep, he took a step back and apologized for not articulating his feelings accurately. This moment of vulnerability opened the door to a more constructive dialogue, ultimately reinforcing the importance of his commitment to precise communication. Over time, he developed a set of personal principles to guide his communication. First, he committed to thinking before speaking. He learned to pause and consider what he truly wanted to convey, ensuring that his words were intentional and accurate. Second, he embraced the idea that it was okay to ask for clarification from others, fostering a two-way street of understanding. Lastly, he prioritized honesty, recognizing that while the truth could sometimes be uncomfortable, it was always better than the chaos that stemmed from vague or misleading statements. The ripple effects of his transformation extended beyond his immediate circle. As he shared his experiences with others, he found that many people faced similar struggles with communication. He began hosting informal discussions on the importance of being precise in speech, encouraging participants to share their stories and strategies. The dialogues were enlightening, revealing how common misunderstandings could be traced back to imprecise language. Together, they explored practical techniques for enhancing communication skills, creating a supportive community where everyone felt empowered to improve. In the end, the journey of embracing precise speech was more than just a personal endeavor. It became a shared mission. The man realized that clarity in communication had the power to heal relationships, build trust, and foster collaboration. His life transformed from one marked by misunderstandings and frustration to one filled with meaningful connections and productive interactions. As he reflected on his growth, he understood that precise speech was not merely a skill to be mastered, but a lifelong commitment to honesty, integrity, and respect for oneself and others. The lessons he learned became foundational to his relationships, guiding him through life's complexities with a newfound sense of purpose. Each conversation became an opportunity to connect more deeply, to understand more clearly, and to express himself with intention. This journey of embracing precise speech culminated in a powerful realization: words matter. They shape our realities, influence our relationships, and can either bridge gaps or create chasms. By committing to clarity, he discovered the profound impact that language can have in fostering understanding and connection in an often chaotic world. Rule number 11. Do not bother children when they are skateboarding. In a world that often seems chaotic and unpredictable, the importance of allowing children to embrace risks and face challenges is paramount. Engaging with the story of children's skateboarding reveals significant lessons about growth, resilience, and the human experience. Picture a sunny afternoon in a bustling neighborhood where a group of children gathers at a local skate park. Their laughter fills the air as they take turns on their skateboards, darting through ramps and executing tricks with youthful enthusiasm. The skate park is alive with energy, and the children are in their element, pushing boundaries, testing their limits, and learning valuable lessons about failure and success. Among them is a boy named Max, who is particularly excited to show off his skills. He has been practicing a new trick that involves jumping off a ramp and landing smoothly on the other side. As he watches his friends attempt their own tricks, he feels a mix of excitement and apprehension. The fear of falling looms in his mind, but so does the thrill of potential success. Max knows that in order to master the trick, he must confront that fear head-on. However, not far from the skate park, a concerned parent stands at the edge, watching with a furrowed brow. This parent believes that skateboarding is too dangerous and that children should be protected from such risks. With a sense of urgency, they approach the group, intent on ensuring the children play it safe. They call out to Max and his friends, warning them about the dangers of skateboarding and urging them to be more careful. This well-meaning intervention disrupts the flow of the children's play. Max, who was just about to attempt the jump, hesitates. The parent's words linger in his mind, and the confidence he had been building starts to wane. Instead of focusing on his technique, he begins to worry about the possibility of falling and getting hurt. The excitement of pushing his limits begins to dissolve into doubt. As the parent continues to express their concerns, Max's friends also start to question their own decisions. The parent's intervention serves as a reminder of the potential dangers that come with skateboarding. The once lively skate park feels suddenly heavy with anxiety and apprehension. The spirit of exploration is stifled, and the children retreat into a more cautious mindset. However, amidst this tension, another adult, a seasoned skateboarder, arrives at the skate park. Having witnessed the scene unfold, they step in to offer a different perspective. This experienced skater understands that while injuries can happen, the lessons learned from facing challenges far outweigh the risks. They share stories of their own childhood, recalling how they too faced falls and scrapes but emerged stronger and more skilled. The seasoned skater's presence revitalizes the atmosphere. They encourage the children to embrace the risks inherent in skateboarding. They emphasize that learning how to fall safely and getting back up again is part of mastering the sport. Instead of avoiding challenges, the children are urged to lean into them, recognizing that failure is a stepping stone toward improvement. Max feels a spark of inspiration ignited by the seasoned skater's words. He watches as the skater demonstrates the jump he had been attempting. With confidence and skill, they land the trick flawlessly. The children are captivated, and Max's earlier doubts begin to fade. The skater's message is clear. Taking risks, even in the face of potential failure, is essential for growth. Encouraged by the skater, Max decides to give the jump another shot. He approaches the ramp with renewed determination, this time focusing on his technique rather than the fear of falling. He remembers the lessons shared by the skater about how falling is a natural part of learning and how it can teach resilience and perseverance. As he takes off from the ramp, the adrenaline surges through him. Max feels a mix of fear and excitement, but he holds onto the confidence gained from his peers and the seasoned skater. With a burst of energy, he launches himself into the air. For a moment, time seems to stand still as he soars above the ramp, and then he lands, his feet steady beneath him. A cheer erupts from his friends as they witness his successful jump. The skate park fills with laughter and excitement once again. Max feels a rush of accomplishment. He has faced his fears, embraced the challenge, and emerged victorious. In that moment, he realizes that skateboarding is not just about the tricks. It's about the journey, the resilience built through challenges, and the joy of learning from both successes and failures. The children, inspired by Max's achievement and the seasoned skater's encouragement, gather their courage and take turns attempting the jump. They learn from one another, share tips, and celebrate each other's successes. The skate park becomes a space of growth and camaraderie, where the children are empowered to take risks and support each other in their endeavors. As the sun begins to set, painting the sky with vibrant colors, the children feel a profound sense of accomplishment. They have learned that life is filled with challenges, and while it may seem safer to avoid risks, true growth comes from confronting fears and embracing the journey. Each scrape and bruise becomes a badge of honor, a testament to their resilience and determination. Through this experience, the lesson resonates deeply. Allowing children to engage in activities that involve risk fosters independence, resilience, and growth. When well-meaning adults intervene to prevent children from taking risks, they inadvertently stifle their opportunities for learning and development. Children need space to explore, make mistakes, and rise to challenges, ultimately becoming stronger and more capable individuals. In the end, skateboarding is more than just a sport. It symbolizes the broader journey of life. By allowing children to navigate their own challenges, we prepare them for the complexities of adulthood. They learn that while risks are a part of life, so are the rewards that come from facing them head-on. In a world that often favors caution and safety, the importance of allowing children the freedom to skateboard, and by extension, to take risks, remains a vital lesson. Embracing challenges helps shape resilient individuals who are prepared to tackle life's uncertainties, armed with the knowledge that failure is merely a stepping stone to success. As the children pack up their skateboards and prepare to head home, they carry with them the invaluable lessons learned that day: to embrace risk, to support one another, and to never shy away from the challenges that life presents. With laughter echoing in their hearts, they look forward to their next adventure, ready to face whatever comes their way. Rule number 12. Pet a cat when you encounter one on the street. Life is often a tumultuous journey, filled with unexpected turns and moments that test our resilience. In the midst of this chaos, it's easy to become consumed by the weight of our struggles, losing sight of the simple joys that life can offer. Embracing these fleeting moments of happiness can serve as a powerful antidote to the challenges we face. This is the essence of the lesson about taking a moment to appreciate the small, beautiful things in life, symbolized by the simple act of petting a cat when you encounter one on the street. When faced with difficulties, whether personal challenges, health issues, or broader existential concerns, it is crucial to find a way to cope. In moments of despair, it can feel as though we are drowning in a sea of darkness, with no light in sight. However, amidst this struggle, there often exist small glimpses of beauty and joy that can help us navigate through the chaos. It is in recognizing and embracing these moments that we can find solace and strength. The story unfolds against a backdrop of personal adversity. One individual recalls grappling with a life-altering situation, such as a serious illness in the family. This hardship served as a catalyst for reflection, forcing the individual to confront the fragility of life. In the midst of this struggle, the notion of finding joy in the mundane became increasingly significant. The lesson that even in the darkest times, one must look for small, bright spots becomes essential. One day, during a particularly challenging period, the individual steps outside, feeling the weight of their worries pressing down. The air is crisp, and the world seems to buzz with an energy that feels distant. While walking, they notice a cat sitting on the sidewalk, basking in the sunlight. It appears peaceful, oblivious to the complexities of human life. Instinctively, the individual feels drawn to the cat, an urge to approach and share a moment of connection. As they kneel down and extend a hand, the cat looks up, its green eyes shining with curiosity. The cat leans in, inviting the gentle touch. This simple interaction serves as a reminder that even amidst chaos, there exist moments of connection and beauty. The softness of the cat's fur, the gentle purring sound, and the warmth of its presence become a source of comfort. In that instant, the worries and burdens seem to fade, replaced by a sense of calm. The encounter with the cat symbolizes the broader idea of seeking joy in the little things, no matter how insignificant they may seem. Life is often unpredictable, and while we cannot control the challenges that come our way, we can choose how to respond. Recognizing and appreciating the beauty around us allows us to find moments of respite. It is a reminder that joy can coexist with suffering, that it is possible to experience happiness even when life feels overwhelming. As days pass, the individual becomes increasingly aware of their surroundings. Each time they venture outside, they look for opportunities to connect with the world, whether it's a fleeting moment with a friendly cat, the laughter of children playing, or the beauty of nature. The simple act of being present and attentive to these moments fosters a sense of gratitude and resilience. It becomes a practice, a way of reorienting oneself toward positivity in the face of adversity. Through these experiences, the individual learns that life is not solely defined by the challenges faced, but also by the moments of connection and joy that punctuate the struggle. The act of petting a cat, once a mere impulse, transforms into a metaphor for embracing life. It teaches that happiness is often found in the most unexpected places and that one should seize the opportunity to appreciate these fleeting instances. This newfound perspective empowers the individual to navigate life's uncertainties with greater grace. In moments of despair, the lessons learned from these interactions become invaluable. They provide the strength needed to face adversity head-on, reminding the individual that they are not alone in their struggles. Each encounter with beauty, whether it's a friendly cat or a stunning sunset, serves as a reminder that there is still goodness in the world. These small joys become a lifeline, a thread connecting the individual to a larger, more meaningful existence. Eventually, the individual reflects on how these experiences have transformed their outlook. Life will always present challenges, but the ability to find joy in the mundane can serve as a powerful antidote to chaos. The practice of seeking moments of happiness helps build resilience, enabling one to face difficulties with a renewed sense of purpose. It reinforces the idea that joy is not merely an absence of suffering, but a deliberate choice to embrace life, even in the face of adversity. In the end, the lesson resonates deeply. Taking the time to appreciate the small, beautiful things like the simple act of petting a cat can significantly alter our experience of life. It encourages a shift in perspective, urging individuals to seek out joy and connection, even amidst turmoil. Each moment of beauty becomes a beacon of hope, guiding us through the storms we encounter. By embracing these fleeting instances, we can cultivate a deeper appreciation for life and its many wonders, allowing us to navigate the complexities of existence with grace and resilience.